Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of 0 to 60, our new show where we test drive cars, insult each other and share our car adventures with you. I'm Andrew Wilkes and the man to my right is Richard Fielding.
So as you can see from our location, we're driving through lovely Nottinghamshire and, well, it might actually be Leicestershire. I'm not too sure where we are because I'm very lost.
So for our first episode, we wanted to do something that was both interesting and useful for you, the viewer. So we're going to be test driving two cars today in the same price bracket, over £30,000, that could not be more different. The 2-litre turbo Mini Cooper Sport and the fully electric Mazda MX-30.
If you like the channel and you like what we're about, please hit that subscribe button.
And the first thing you should notice today is that I'm wearing my favourite coat. Would we call it a gilet? Sleeveless body warmer might be better. Sleeveless body warmer, it's my favourite coat and I look pretty good in it. And first impressions are, this is a pretty good car actually. There's more room inside than you'd think. I'm 6'4" and there's loads of room for me. I like the exterior look as well. It's designed just on the right side of yobbish. So it looks sporty, but you don't feel embarrassed getting out of it as an adult, stepping out of it in front of people. And the other thing to notice is the driving conditions are absolutely perfect today. Beautiful day, dry roads, clear visibility, and a joy to drive on. We're going to go through some country roads to give it a little bit of speed, go around some corners. Today's the day for it. And I'm in the Mini. I've wanted to drive one of these for a while now, so really excited about this today. So let's see how it goes.
Right guys, I am in the Mazda MX-30 GT Sportline, and do you know what I like about this? It's quiet. Do you know, it's comfortable. I'm doing 40 in a 50. We can't speed, and there's no one behind me as well. So with this car, it comes with heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's got air conditioning, but what modern car doesn't have aircon? This has a range of about 126, I think the book says, but over the last couple of days of using it, I'm seeing around 115 with AC on and air conditioning. I've read some reports about the car in the winter especially being rubbish when it comes to range, and I think this car probably would give you range anxiety, but that's my only thing that I would actually say is not good about it. Build quality, Japanese. They make some great cars, you know, Nissans, Toyotas. You don't see a taxi driver in a Ford. You see a taxi driver in a Toyota Mazda because they are reliable.
So this particular model Mini comes with 3 driving modes, which I really like. You can adjust them down here. There is green, mid and sport. So let's move it up to sport. There we go. Can feel it clicking immediately. LED light display goes red. I like that, especially in the dark. That will look good. Tightens up the throttle response immediately. I really like that. So we're going to want to see how this goes. Also, I'm going to change from drive into manual and take control of the gear changes through the paddles on the steering wheel. Let's go. Oh, wow. Bang! Into third. Bang! Into fourth. Meanwhile, in the Mazda.
You see, I mean, it sounds, if anyone's of my age, it sounds like a milk float when you used to get your milk delivered in the mornings. So it's great. It does have a horn.
He was also being quite considerate of the locals.
We do like a horse lady that acknowledges. When they don't acknowledge, you kind of like just waited. But right, I'm not gonna be silly and, you know, go. I'm sure viewers, you'd have gone, I'd have gone. But he's got to go slow. I've got to go slow. Don't want to scare the horse or the lady. So, right, we just indicate round and off we go. Nice and smooth.
So if we just calm down for a moment there and take a bit of the speed off, some of the spec of this car, because this car, although I'm reviewing against the Mazda today, it's in the same sort of price bracket or the same area as maybe the Focus ST and definitely the Polo GTI. I think this car looks better, actually. I think you get so much on this. This seems like a really good buy, actually. As I said, so much more room than I'd expect. Also, unlike a lot of fast minis, it's got 5 doors and you can actually use those with space in the back. This could be a family car. The boot's big enough as well. So with the comfort settings, the styling, the space, and the value for money, I think this isn't a bad mix of a everyday or family car, but also a bit of fun as well. Some of the figures for this car, so it's a 2-litre turbo, so it's going to move quickly. The weight, it's probably exactly what you'd expect to see a car this size weigh with a 2-litre engine, about 1,300 kilos, so no surprises there. 178 brake horsepower and 280 torques, which is why the engine's ability to do work, that's why it picks up so quickly. Really, really quick. Well-built car as well. Very, very good. And we should probably mention 0 to 60, seeing as it is the name of our show. We're looking at about 6.5 seconds, so really rapid, actually. Top speed says it's about 145, 146, but unless you're racing the car, which for this car you really shouldn't, it's more than you're ever going to need. Handles the speed well, though. Gets up to speed quickly. I think we should give it another quick go in sport mode. Let's move it up again. Moving up to sport. Red display on the dash. Let's move over into manual. Take control of the gears and let's go. Oh wow, we're off again. Bang! And again. Bang! This is a good car. This is a good car. I like it. I like this car. I've been wanting to drive this car for a while. Let's knock it down a gear and give it a bit of right foot. Yeah, and up. Wow, so responsive. The gear changes are good as well. It's quick as hell. Handles brilliantly. Goes round bends like it's on rails. No wobble in this at all. And that's probably one of the things that I found with the movement from minis to being very, very small cars to what are actually quite large cars, is they've got a bit bigger, a bit higher. I don't like the look of them as much as I used to. And actually when the ride height's a little bit higher, that can sometimes mean the handling is affected, but we've gone round a few corners here. I can't sense that at all. I can't sense that at all. In fact, with the value for money, the room, the pace of the car, the different settings, the usability, all of the gadgets you're getting as well, I'm struggling to find a downside. I really am.
Right, guys, so as you can see, we're going down some lovely country roads. I mean, they're fast, windy. You can see I'm doing the speed limit and the car's not even leaning into the corners, it's just gripping. I think that helps because, you know, I think it's about 1.5 tons, maybe even a 2-ton car. I'm not sure of the actual curb weight, but it's a heavy car because it's got batteries. But it just seems really evenly weight distribution, you know, it's great.
Fielding.
Yes.
I was just saying to the camera what a fantastic driving day it is, and I think having the 2 cars is a really great idea for our first one. Glad I came up with the idea.
You certainly did not come up with that idea. That was definitely me.
Driving 2 cars was my idea. I came up with it in the Ideas Lab. Fortunately, we recorded the previous session in the Ideas Lab where we came up with the idea. Right, Fielding, we need to get some ideas down for our first episode of 0 to 60 and what cars we should test.
Can I just... Right. Why is the sign on the door?
Yeah.
Why is my brain so much smaller than yours?
Well, I'm the clever one.
Whoa! That's a bit rude, isn't it?
Let's get some ideas down. Okay.
After a slight distraction talking about facial hair.
But also there's bits
I need to do
here,
that.
like this bit here. I let that grow a bit.
Got to the itchy stage though, mate.
You've got to get past that.
Oh,
You've got to accept it's itchy.
We finally got to the two-car
So what
idea.
if, for the first episode, we did a top-range German, like an Audi or a Merc, and did a long run? Let's go to Scotland or something like that. Top-range, expensive.
I'm going to cut you there. Let's get 2 cars, mate. I think let's get 2 cars because there's 2 of us, and we then can compare the 2 cars. So maybe a hot hatch and maybe an SUV or a mid SUV. That might be a better choice because our viewers drive both of those.
As there was no way to identify who came up with the idea, we carried on with the test.
So we're heading out here, and these are actually some really nice driving roads. These are great, and as I mentioned, the driving conditions are perfect, but these roads are actually very good. There's a lot of roads that we've been driving past, and you may have picked up some of the potholes on the front-facing camera that are absolutely terrible. I mean, dangerous is probably fair. Having to swerve around some things. The patchwork, bad as well. You can feel it through the car, you can feel it through the steering wheel, through the seat. And what I do know is that the government and the local authorities are waging a war on potholes. But it's an ongoing battle. So they're putting a lot of money into repairing potholes. They're repairing so many potholes each year. It goes up each year, the amount that they're repairing, just in the UK alone. But I read a statistic that said with the amount of potholes we've currently got in England alone, it would cost over £10 billion for England alone to make the roads right again. 10 billion for England, and some reports have said up to 16 billion for England and Wales. 16 billion pounds, which really gives an indication of why it's so hard to stay on top of keeping the roads safe and comfortable.
As Andy was reviewing potholes, I was reviewing cars.
Most electric cars were ugly, and you can't get away from that. But this, it's got a great front end. I really do like it. And you get into this car and it's got a wraparound cockpit. You've got a great armrest, really wide, put your arm on it, brilliant. You've got the full LCD screen for your aircon, really nice, really easy to use. You've got your sat-nav screen right in the middle, just below eye level, but you only have to literally dip your eye slightly. It's great. And you've got the head-up display. Head-up display will display all your sat-nav. So if you're going through Nottingham and it's giving you directions, it comes up on that head-up display. It's really good. And then you've got the LCD digital display right in front of you that I quite like. It's really, it gives you every bit of information. You can flip between modes, screen modes, not sport modes, because this only has one mode being drive, and I do like it. I think it's a really well put together car. The Japanese know what they're doing. Driving through quite tight country roads, and it doesn't feel too big, but being a mid SUV, it's spacious in here. I would say you could easily get 5 people in this car. I know Andy's 6'4", and he can sit in the back comfortably, and I think that's a testament to Mazda. I think they've got a really good chassis in this. It handles well, very responsive. I mean, I'm coming through a 30, right? We're now coming up to a 60. Let's gun it. up to 60 course. We're at 60. It doesn't take very long in this. It is quick and no noise. No noise at all. That's the bit I do love. But if you do like noise, the sound system in this is brilliant. I can't show you for obvious reasons, but the 13 speaker Bose system in this is brilliant. It really is good. So if you like your music, get yourself a Bose system. It's great.
Oh look, it's Richard Fielding in the Mazda. Now I'm going to have a go on that soon, and we'll swap cars and we'll see what it's like. It's hard to imagine that you get to feel the experience of driving, the rawness of going through the gears and feeling the acceleration in an EV that I do in the Mini. I really like this car. Next up, let's switch over and try out the Mazda.
After a quick tutorial of how to put the handbrake on,
You need to put the handbrake on.
Oh yes.
we swapped cars.
Alrighty. So, off we go. In the Mini now. So, first impressions, they're both automatic, so I really like that. I think automatics, they're just easy, aren't they, to be quite honest, and sometimes takes the stress out of driving, because you're not thinking about, oh crap, I'm in the wrong gear, or you know, I'm lost in the city and I don't really know where I'm going. But I'm just waiting for this fanny behind me to get going.
Okay, the first thing I need to do is push the seat back and adjust the mirrors, because Richard Fielding is short. I need to adjust it so it's suitable for an adult. Let's have a look at this. Wing mirrors up. Okay, and I think we're ready to go. So, first thing, let's start on the trip back. Now that we've swapped cars. First thing to notice, there's a lot more dings and bongs and stuff in an electric car than there is in an internal combustion engine one. Don't know if that's a good thing or not. Noticeable though. Let's get moving. Up to the junction. And we'll try and test it in the same way that I did with the Mini, and see what the difference is. We did say at the outset, these are two very, very different cars. So, the first thing I notice, it's an entirely different feeling, isn't it? Wow, okay. To pick up the speed is entirely different. No gears, no on and off the power, it just moves, doesn't it? And actually, we're at 60 there. I'm pleasantly surprised. This moves quite quickly, it's smooth. On and off the power is quite good actually. It's a little bit more raw than I thought if you wanted to go on and off the power. It's actually quite enjoyable. And interior, wow, okay, it's a nice place to be. It's comfortable. It's probably more comfortable than the Mini actually. Armrests both sides, comfort, leather. Yeah, I must say, first impressions. I'm quite impressed.
Right, let's see what this has got on it. Yeah, it goes well. Do you know what? When it's in that mode, it just doesn't change gears like it should, in my mind. But I'm used to, electric driving, and I think that's very different to a petrol. It's not noisy by any means. Yeah, it seems to be a nice car. See, really silky. I do like the BMW 2-litre turbo engine and the automatic box in them, it does drive really well. It's got your flappy paddles, so you can have a bit of fun if you want. You know, you can put it into manual mode, up and down the gears. It's got aircon. It's got everything that you would expect from a modern day car. At the end of the day, it's a really well built car. I think Mini's come a long way. Don't get me wrong, I did like the first Minis that came out. I had a couple of friends that had those. Great fun, you know, but scary ultimately as well, because your face was almost against the window, and I'm not a tall guy. So the likes of Andy, who's, you know, 6'3", 6'4", can be quite scary. So look at this. You can't even see the road. That would make you feel a bit funny if you went over that fast.
Okay, and the up to speed test I think is important. So 30 miles an hour, put the foot down, a little bit of right foot, and we're at 60. So come off the power again. It does move quickly. It feels like it's probably not quite as quick as the Mini, but it's hard to tell actually, because it's a different sensation going through the speeds. But what I will say is this actually feels really taut, really well responsive on the steering wheel. I'm not someone that generally likes the SUVs or MPVs. I think they're a bit too high. They don't really suit me. They may suit you, not me. Sometimes they can feel a bit wobbly in the bends. But this actually, powering out of the corner there, grips the road very well. Yeah. And another thing to notice about this is I mentioned I don't really usually go for these MPVs, but this is actually a really good looking SUV. I think it's an SUV. It's really good looking. The front end and the sides particularly look fantastic, and hopefully we've got some videos or photos of those on this clip. But it actually looks really stylish, and I think where we are now with EVs is miles ahead of where we were 10 years ago. The range is better, the looks of the car are absolutely 100 times better than they were a few years ago. So real progress there, and I don't think I'm quite at that point yet where I could realistically move to EV. There's two issues that still need sorting. This is the range and also the charging times, and that's a real issue for me. As soon as those two things are sorted, I can genuinely consider moving to EV. Until they're done, I really don't think I can. Half throttle. Whew. Half throttle. It's going well. I can understand why people love these. And I mean, this is only the 2-litre the 2-litre turbo. I mean, if you've got the John Works, it's tuned and it produces even more power. So this would be a little rocket ship. But this is a 5-door, so I forgot to say that. Actually, this is a 5-door, and I really like it. You get more boot because, as everyone knows, Mini is not renowned for boot space. You're lucky if you can get one shopping bag in the boot, but in this, actually not a bad boot. It's not too bad at all, but as you can see, lovely countryside again we're coming through here. It's it's lovely. It's really nice. I think if you like cars, definitely get yourself out in one of these. Go to your local Mini dealer and ask to have a test drive in it. I think it's comfortable, fun, not the best on fuel, I've got to say, but you don't buy a fast car and expect to get 80 to the gallon. So there we go. Really, let's just enjoy the drive for a minute.
But then Fielding got a bit frustrated.
Not sure why this car's braking in front when they're only doing like 40 in a 60, but could roll, I suppose. Very lightly.
And then at the next crossroads,
Wow, I mean, they almost drifted around that corner then. They were going that fast.
he then dealt with all this slowness in the appropriate way.
Wow. It's definitely quicker than the Mazda.
Andy did an important test of the Mazda fans.
Okay, and we're just about to come past a sewage treatment work, so I'm going to put the fans on recirc. So for those that don't know, recirc is recirculating the fans, the air within the car, rather than drawing air in from outside. Particularly on a sunny, warm day like this, going past the sewage treatment works, the turds will have been cooking in the sun, fermenting. We don't want that coming into the car. No one does. So recirc whilst we go past this. And actually, this is a good bit of the drive because we're just coming into a lower speed limit area, coming into a village here. And this is another really good part about the car, actually, is how enjoyable it is to drive at the lower speeds. There's no exhaust noise, no popping and banging from anywhere. There's no engine noise coming through. It's actually just a very relaxing car to go through. And now, just as we're passing the poo factory, we can switch the fans back on to normal. Didn't get a whiff of it. Well done, Mazda. Big thumbs up from me. None of that coming in whilst the fans were on recirc. So, an important test there. Mazda, you passed it well.
And after a quick brush of his hair, Richard Fielding provided us with some thoughts on the car.
So overall feelings about the Mini. Would I buy one? Yes. Are they fun? Absolutely. Will you lose your license? Probably. But worth it. It is, I think, real fun. Little go-kart. You know, great around town. I think that's, you know, because they're small, they're nimble. I think it's just a good all-rounder. So, mileage view on this? Absolutely. Go for it. Hi guys, after I think successful drive of both cars, I'm sure Andy to the left will agree, the Mazda and the Mini. For me, Mini is entertaining. It's great fun. It sounds great. But if you want something that's relaxing and you can listen to your music, I'd go for the Mazda. But that's my opinion. Andy.
And you're wrong. I would go for the Mini every single time. So after this video, there's one car I'll be talking about more. It's the Mini. I'm sure you as the viewer, if you were talking to anyone else about this, and please talk to people, leave us some comments. I guarantee you'll be talking about the Mini before you talk about the Mazda, because it's better.
Sorry, mate, I was seeing through your rug on your head, and I was getting distracted.
Are we bringing this in now, are we?
We're bringing this in.
Every
I will get the
opportunity.
shine, but that is hilarious.
Yeah, okay. So we apologise, viewers. It's quite sunny. If you can't see us because of the shine off of Mr. Fielding's head, that's likely to impact our ability to speak to you here, but it's a very shiny head.
There's not much coverage, so yours is almost as shiny as mine. And you paid for yours.
I did, but I will have you know that follicular unit extraction surgery is much cheaper than it used to be and gives reasonable results.
We'll agree to disagree, and moving on.
Should we talk about the cars?
Yeah, let's talk about the cars. Let's talk about the cars.
So, we said at the outset, these two cars, similar price bracket, but could not be more different. And I think in fairness, that's what we found actually. They are two entirely different driving experiences, but we both driven both cars. We both enjoyed driving both cars actually,
Brilliant
didn't
cars,
we?
Brilliant.
But could not be more different. So I think our summary has to be, if you want the driving experience of driving fast, the engine noise, the exhaust noise, changing gears, holding on, you've got to go for the Mini. If you want the driving experience of the comfort of driving, calmness, arriving where you want to, fast as hell, but arriving where you want to, completely relaxed, it's got to be the Mazda.
I know that your problem is with the Mazda is range anxiety, but viewers, how often do you do more than 15 or 20 miles in any one journey? And I think if you don't, then for me, the Mazda every day, from a point of view from, charging that car, £2.70 for 125 miles. That is the reality when it comes to electric. And, Andy will be like, yeah, no, but it doesn't go brum and all that kind of crap. It doesn't.
Well, I've got
really
to pick you up on
but
the reality of 125 miles as well.
It's not 125 miles.
The listed range will entirely depend, as an internal combustion engine car will entirely depend on how you drive the car. Realistically, it could be under 100 miles.
It could,
and
yeah. Realistically.
We live 50, 55 miles apart, so if Richard comes down to mine and we meet up, he's going to have to bring his charging lead with him. And that realistically is a problem for me. So I understand why Mazda have done it. They've put a lower range in the car for economy reasons. For me, that's a big problem. Other EVs have higher range. Yeah. This one has a lower range for a specific reason of economy. That just doesn't work for me. So again, it's back to you as the viewer. Do you do those short journeys? If you want the longer journey, it becomes a problem.
No, and do you know what? I will totally agree with him, but I still prefer the Mazda. That's my opinion. I love the Mini, and for everything the Mini stands for, it's great fun, it's loud, it's fast, but it's not as comfortable.
And it had more room than I thought, actually.
Yeah. I
more
mean,
room than I thought.
You had to shoehorn yourself in, but other than that,
did need a shoehorn. Yeah,
once wedged into the car, there was more room in it than you thought.
Rude. It all comes back to, again, what do you want from the car? What do you want from the car? For me, hands down, you've got to go with the Mini. But as usual, and you'll probably find this over our future videos as well, we've disagreed. We disagree a lot.
We do.
You'll get to know this about us. But as the sun's now come out and I'm a redhead, I probably need to get away before I get any sunburn. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like this. Subscribe to our channel. There's more stuff coming your way. And leave us some comments. The most liked comments, if there's anything about what you'd like to see us test drive or any adventures you'd like to see us do, we're going to look at those and do those.
Absolutely. And that is the main point about this channel, is we're going to have some fun and you're going to come along for the ride.
And you're the ones that write the script for us. So give us some comments. Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you again.
Bye.